The eShop's back with another round of genuinely great deals, and this week is a huge mix of RPGs, emotional adventures, stylish indies, and a couple of cozy bangers. It's definitely more indie focused this video, but expect some pretty big sales in the coming weeks. Whether you're looking for something story heavy, action packed, or just warm and relaxing, there's a bit of everything here, including a couple of absolute classics that rarely drop this low. So grab a brew, free up the backlog, and let's dive into the deals. Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, the enhanced editions, are two CRPG classics and are legendary for a reason, and the Switch versions let you play both, complete with expansions. These games are all about player choice, branching paths, wildly different party compositions, multiple ways to approach quests, and tactical battles that reward careful planning. What I enjoy most in these games is that they still feel alive after all these decades. NPCs react to your decisions, companions argue and joke, and every run feels completely different depending on how you build your character. The Switch port handles the interface surprisingly well, with radial menus that make navigation far smoother than you'd expect. The only thing worth noting here is that these are very slow burn adventures. Settling in takes a moment, but once it clicks, it becomes one of the most addicting RPG experiences you will come by. And with these two games in particular, you can easily sink well over 100 hours into them, all for just £11.99 or your country's equivalent, and this iconic double pack is on sale until November 20th in the UK and Europe, and December 1st in North America. But if you want something a little bit more stylish and energetic, this next game's a treat. Ghost Trick is one of the most inventive puzzle adventure games ever made. You play as a recently deceased spirit who can possess objects, manipulate the environment, and rewind time to solve murders and unravel a bigger mystery. The charm is instant, smooth animations, expressive characters, and a tone that blends humour with surprising emotion. What this game does brilliantly is making the puzzles fair. You're given all the information you need, it's just about observing how each object interacts with the world and chaining those actions together creatively. The Switch version is crisp, colourful, and feels right at home on handheld. The story mode feels episodic, with each chapter ending on a cliffhanger, pulling you deeper and deeper into its strange little world. Now unfortunately, this is a North American deal only, but at 67% off, costing $9.99 US or $13.32 Canadian, this game is on sale until December 11th and is definitely worth looking at. After something so stylish and clever, let's shift into a darker fantasy world with a very different kind of storybook energy. Lost in Random blends Burton-inspired visuals with action, exploration, and a clever dice-driven combat system. You play as Even, journeying through bizarre kingdoms ruled by chance, accompanied by living dice, named Dicey. The art direction here is mesmerising. Crooked houses, puppet-like characters, and gloomy lighting that feels handmade. What's brilliant about these games is how the combat builds momentum. You collect energy, roll dicey to determine your power options, and piece together strategies on the fly. It's a mix of card building, real-time action, and tactical planning that feels fresh and very unique. It's imaginative, heartfelt, and far more ambitious than it first appears, and just so happens to be an absolute bargain at £3.74, offering 14 hours of content for the price of a cheap coffee. That's a no-brainer. Lost in Random is 85% off until November 30th in the UK and Europe, and December 4th in North America. And now for something faster, sharper, and built around stylish movement. Blue Fire is a slick, fast-paced action platformer that blends precise movement and challenging combat. It has a distinct feel, a strange mix between a 3D Hollow Knight and a classic Zelda with the dungeon structure. The movement here is easily the highlight. Double jumps, air dashes, wall runs, the fluidity keeps exploration exciting, especially inside the game's challenge rooms, known as the Void, which are some of the most rewarding platforming sections on the Switch. The combat is quick and satisfying with enemy patterns that encourage spacing and timing instead of button mashing. Performance is solid in handheld mode, and the world's eerie, minimal style lends to its unique atmosphere. If you enjoy games that test your skills but never feel unfair, Blue Fire is a bit of a gem, and at 70% off is only going to cost you £5.39 or your currency's equivalent, and is on sale until November 23rd in the UK and Europe, and November 26th in North America. This next one's a bit of a mood shift. Let's move on to something a bit more atmospheric and unsettling. Chernobyl is a sci-fi survival RPG set in a haunting reimagining of the Chernobyl exclusion zone. It's part survival, part exploration, part base building, and part narrative mystery. What stands out most is the atmosphere though. Abandoned buildings, eerie forests, and strange anomalies that make every expedition feel tense but compelling. The story takes unexpected turns, and your choices genuinely affect missions, allies, and even endings. The visuals were dialed back for the Switch, but the handheld performance keeps the mood intact. The blend of supernatural tension and human drama kept me hooked more than expected, and I thoroughly enjoyed my time with this. And if you enjoy survival games that prioritise story, tension, and exploration over constant combat, this one's worth grabbing, and right now is 57% off, £11.69 or your region's equivalent, and with a 16-hour campaign, this is a brilliant deal. Chernobyl is on sale until November 27th in the UK and Europe, and November 30th in North America. And after something so heavy, let's do a 180 and jump into a series known for its characters, charm, and brilliant cases. This anthology bundles 6 Ace Attorney titles into one incredibly strong package. Courtroom drama, clever investigations, and lively characters. It's all here. This bundles the Phoenix Wright and Apollo Justice Ace Attorney trilogies both together that offer well over 100 hours of content, which finely balance humour and genuinely engaging mysteries. Piecing together contradictions, presenting evidence, and slowly unravelling the truth is incredibly satisfying. There are updated character portraits and improved text readability for the smaller screen. These stories are long, memorable, and filled with great twists, and getting them all at a discount makes it one of the best narrative bundles on the eShop. With all 6 games here, you are looking at a 16 gig download, but all in all, it's worth the space. Currently, this anthology is £22.49 or your country's equivalent, a 55% discount until November 30th in the UK and Europe, and December 11th in North America. Speaking of visually striking experiences, this next game is one gigantic what the hell. Chicken Police, Paint It Red, is one of the most stylish and surprising noir adventures on the Switch. It mixes anthropomorphic characters with full-blown 1940s detective drama, all delivered through striking black and white visuals, sharp writing, and fully voiced dialogue that gives it an unmistakable cinematic feel. You play as Sonny Featherland, a washed-up detective pulled into a complex case that spirals into conspiracies, interrogations, and delightfully weird characters. What keeps it engaging is how much agency you have in the conversations. Grilling suspects, reading body language, and piecing together clues feels tactile and rewarding. Despite how absurd the premise sounds, the game treats its noir storytelling seriously. The humour enhances the tone rather than overwhelming it. It's surprisingly gripping from start to finish, and the writing is fantastic. Chicken Police is currently £6.29 or your regional equivalent, and is 65% off until November 30th in the UK and Europe, and December 4th in North America. Let's maintain that high energy. Here's something punchier and far more chaotic. Blast Brigade is a 2D action platformer inspired by over-the-top 80s action movies. It's colourful, loud, and full of explosions. But underneath the humour is a surprisingly solid Metroidvania structure with tight controls and plenty of upgrades. Each character you unlock has their own abilities, letting you backtrack through areas to discover new secrets. The tone is comedic but not too obnoxious or overly slapstick, a nice balance of charm and energy. It looks great with the bold animations and clean level design, and it feels even better with its constant moving forward and continuous rewarding of exploration. This one's easy to recommend, especially at £6.29 or your currency's equivalent, a 65% discount until November 30th in the UK and Europe, and December 1st in North America. Now let's shift gears into something a little stranger and wonderfully unique. Buckaroo is one of those weird creative indie projects that's hard to sum up, but instantly memorable. It blends stealth, puzzles, and light supernatural elements as you shapeshift to navigate surreal environments. What makes it interesting is how unpredictable the game really feels. Each area introduces odd new mechanics, characters, or aesthetic changes, giving it a dreamlike, experimental feeling. It's short, inventive, and a little different from your usual puzzle game. This gem takes risks and leans into surrealism, and it works. It's a smaller discount, 30% off, but getting 11 hours of great fun gameplay for $24.49 in this day and age is pretty good. Buckaroo is on sale until November 30th in the UK and Europe and December the 4th in North America. And for a complete change of pace, let's jump into a classic arcade genre with modern finish. G Darius HD is a beautifully updated version of a classic horizontal shooter complete with crisp HD visuals and multiple modes. The branching level paths mean every run can go a different direction, and the boss battles, especially the giant mechanical fish, are an absolute highlight. The unique capture mechanic lets you steal enemies and use them as weapons, adding depth to what could be considered a straight remaster. It's challenging but fair, and the Switch handles it flawlessly. Obviously, if you're a shmup lover, this one's for you, but if you just want something arcade tight to break up your backlog, this is an excellent game. And for £9.99 or your region's equivalent, this game is 60% off until December 6th in the UK and Europe and December 7th in North America. After all of that intensity, let's cool down with two games that are warm, comforting, and cozy. Winter Burrow is a cozy exploration and crafting game where you play as a mouse rebuilding your childhood home in a snowy forest. It's warm, gentle, and has an undeniably beautiful atmosphere. You'll gather materials, restore rooms, meet animal neighbours, and uncover small stories as you slowly rebuild your burrow. The visual style is lovely, and the pacing is intentionally calm. And I know it's an overused cliche, but it really does feel like a storybook. It's only a small discount of 10%, but as a new game, and an excellent one at that, I wanted to highlight it. Currently, Winter Burrow is £15.83 or your regional equivalent, and is on sale until November 26th in the UK and Europe and November 27th in North America. And to close things out, here's another island adventure, but this one's a little more summery as the weather starts to turn cold for a lot of us. Summer in Mara is a laid-back farming and exploration adventure with a tropical vibe. You play as Koa, exploring islands, crafting tools, growing crops, and helping quirky locals. It's simple and relaxing, perfect for players who want something gentle and colourful. The art style is bright, the characters are cheerful, and the story is light but pleasant. It's not a stressful game, it lets you play at your own pace, making it a great wind-down experience. People definitely had higher expectations for this, and felt a little let down. But on the whole, it's a good little game, with surprising depth to it, and with 20 plus hours of gameplay available, you really can't grumble while it is £5.39 or your currency's equivalent, a 70% discount until December 14th in the UK and Europe and December 8th in North America. And that just about wraps up another Nintendo eShop deal roundup. If this video helped you find something new to play, dropping a like really supports the channel. I cover the best eShop deals every single week, so feel free to subscribe if you want to stay on top of the biggest discounts. Let me know in the comments which game you're picking up, or if there's a hidden gem I should check out next. And be sure to come back, as in the next couple of weeks with Black Friday and the holidays, we could start to see some crazy deals appear. But with that said, thanks for watching, stay cozy, and I'll see you around.